Right when I got here, Dre took me to his house that he had just purchased from Tom Brady. And we walked up through the house and we're looking around and we walk out in the back and he says, you know how hard you've been working for the last 3 weeks? If you do that for 30 years, you'll have this. And that was an important moment for me. My name is Justus and I'm a musician from Dallas, Texas. So I grew up in Garland, Texas. I played baseball since like the age of 4. Baseball was it. You know, I thought I was gonna grow up and be a professional baseball player. I had a real close family. And I remember my uncle, he was in a band in the 90s, and he's a great musician. He plays guitar, he plays bass guitar, he plays keys, and he sings. And he's got this really cool bluesy, raspy voice. And he always inspired me. My talent as a musician early on was 0. I was not talented. I was interested in being talented. I used to love to write, and then I think that just transitioned easily to writing music. At the time, it was in my mom's garage because I didn't want to bother anybody. So I was in there with the music loud. It didn't matter if it was 100 degrees or if it was 45 degrees. If we were freezing or sweating in there, it didn't matter. We were just in there trying to get better. And eventually, I ended up meeting somebody by the name of Slim Gravy.
My name is Slim Gravy, Slimothy McGravy for short, one half of A.dd. When I met him, it was during a time when, you know, Dallas hip hop was really starting to really like break out of a shell. In my mind at that time, I was like literally trying to recruit more people to be a part of our whole little movement. And I came across him and I was like, dude, y'all are like perfect.
Eventually, Slim comes up and says, hey, I got this guy I want you to meet. And he's like, it's this guy named Blue the Misfit.
I am Blue the Misfit. I am a producer, artist, and DJ in Dallas, Texas. One day, I believe it was me and Slim that went to the studio. Well, technically the studio was his house at the time. And we just went over there just to vibe, just to see what his vibe was like. I went over there, heard a bunch of music, and I was like, yes, I have to work with this guy. And then we just got it going. Like ever since then, we've been locked in and linked in, and we've been putting music together. It was easy from there. Everybody knows how dope he is now.
For me, coming into the Dallas scene was an amazing thing. Here's real venues, here's real fans, here's real people that want to hear the music.
We had a show here at the Granada back in like 2012 or 13, and it was the first time we sold it out.
It showed that we could actually pull in a fan base, and we didn't need radio. We didn't need too much media, and to perform that night, the energy was just priceless.
You know, and that was really important to me. It showed me that people really care, and you're doing this for a reason. The DOC is like a long-time Dr. Dre collaborator. He's worked with Dre on most all of his projects. I had this buddy who sent DOC a message with my music in it.
And he says, I got this kid, he's phenomenal. And so I listened to the kid. I thought that he had something. You could tell somebody raised him up on blues records or really soul music. When you come across white kids that are rap guys, the one thing that they don't have is soul.
After I get with DOC and we make a couple songs, we're sending them back and forth to Dr. Dre the whole time. DOC told me initially, this is the plan. We're gonna try to get you to Dr. Dre. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I have so little faith in that, it's not even funny. Come to find out, he wasn't lying.
And Dre called me and says, man, I need to make a record. It worked out perfectly because I got the perfect thing for you right here.
And eventually, I guess Dre heard that piece of music that really resonated with him, so he called me out there. We go to the set of Straight Outta Compton, the NWA film. So I go in the trailer, and my stomach drops because I see Dre. And I'm like, oh man, that's Dr. Dre. And my stomach drops immediately. No quicker than my stomach felt that way, Dre stood up out of his chair and he goes, hey, what up, superstar? And gave me a hug. And at that moment, it all went away and I knew this is a guy that I'm gonna have a great relationship with. First song we did together that ended up making the cut for the album was It All Falls Back on Me. Which is like the 4th song on there. I ended up contributing to, I think, 7 or 8 records. I'm listed on 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Being on the red carpet for the Straight Outta Compton premiere, you know, with Dre was just, it was unbelievable. We're there at a movie that's telling the story of Dr. Dre's life, and I'm standing next to Dr. Dre. Right. So, I mean, I'll let the people at home put that one together.
You know, Dallas been trying since the beginning of hip-hop to show his face onto the hip-hop scene. With Justus being with Dre, it gives us a lot of attention that we have never had before.
Justus's success can help Dallas through pure inspiration. I think if people here, as young artists, see somebody make it on that kind of level, it'll inspire them as a kid from Dallas to say, hey, I can do that. I can work with Dr. Dre, I can work with Eminem, I can work with Kendrick, I can work with all these people because this kid from Garland, Texas did it.
I'm just one of many, you know, and my thing is just to help the other guys that maybe are looking at me like, oh man, like he got the shot, he got the opportunity. There's enough for all of us. You know, we can all prosper. You can really go from Garland, Dallas, Colleyville, DeSoto, Denton, wherever you're from, Mesquite, it doesn't matter. You can go from that location to the place where you want to be. I promise, it's possible.